Through the centuries, there have been many different interpretations of what vocational calling is. Some interpretations say that vocation is what your job is or your occupational standing is. Others say that vocation is a call to serve through priesthood or sisterhood. However, while some of these interpretations may be correct, the definition that we have come to conclusion with is that a true vocation is when someone feels inclined or pulled toward a particular idea or situation. The person who is drawn to this particular thing has a strong passion toward it and truly lives out the vocation. As Brian Stevenson said during our lecture, one is truly part of their vocation when they live it out. One cannot say something is their vocation when they have not experienced it. So ultimately, a vocation is a calling that one experiences and lives out to the fullest, while at the same time serving God.
Born on September 30th, 1928, Elie Wiesel had 3 sisters. His grandfather and mother played a large role in molding Elie's spiritual beliefs. In 1944, when Elie was 15, his family was captured and sent to Auschwitz concentration camp. A year later, in 1945, he was set free. The only family he had left was 2 of his sisters. He later studied journalism at the University of France, where a colleague of his encouraged him to write about his experiences at Auschwitz.
Elie Wiesel's work and how it coincided with his vocation. Elie Wiesel started out teaching Hebrew and worked as a choir master. Eventually, he became a professional journalist and went on to translate articles from Hebrew to Yiddish. Eventually, he became a roaming correspondent for an Israeli newspaper. Early on, you can see in his career that he had a fondness for language and writing, and you see later on how this coincides with his vocation. A discussion with Rabbi Menachem M. Schneerson led him to open up about his experiences in the Holocaust, breaking his 10-year silence. He originally released a memoir titled "And the World Remained Silent." That was 900 pages long. He eventually went on to write a shortened version called Night that was only 127 pages. Many of us read this in junior high or middle school. His depictions of the Holocaust give it the connotation that it has today because of the literature he wrote about it. His vocation was speaking out against violence, repression, and racism, and he did this through his literature. He was so successful at fulfilling his vocation that he won a Nobel Peace Prize in 1986, the Congressional Gold Medal in 1985, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Later on, he and his wife went on to start the Elie Wiesel Foundation for Humanity, and to this day he continues to be outspoken about injustices he sees in the world and spread awareness about the atrocities of the Holocaust.
Elie Wiesel had a tremendous impact through his vocation. His mission statement is this: I swore never to be silent whenever and wherever human beings endure suffering and humiliation. We must always take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. This man made it his life mission to take away the apathy and ignorance that so easily creeps into people's lives. One of his most famous quotes is, "The opposite of love is not hatred, it is indifference." Elie truly lived this out. His many books have changed the world's perspective on the abuse of humanity. Oprah Winfrey selected it to be in her book club, and it made #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. Since then, he has written over 40 books and won countless literary prizes. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1985 and spearheaded the opening of the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. This not only spreads awareness of the past crimes, but it spurred people on to take action against modern injustice. Wiesel gave a speech entitled "Facing the 21st Century, Threats and Promises." He has encouraged people to speak up for the victims in apartheid in South Africa and the victims of the genocide in former Yugoslavia. He did not feel sorry for himself. He used his own experiences to make sure the horrors he endured didn't happen to others in similar situations.
In 2006, you and I walk the grounds of Auschwitz together. Actually, on my 52nd birthday, that
I
was.
remember that. What a gift I gave you, right?
That was
But it was a
something.
gift.
Yeah. You had written 47 books at the time, and you said that you hadn't begun yet. Do you still feel that way now?
Always.
I remember hearing that and thinking,
Always, absolutely.
really?
Every day, I ask myself the same question. What have I done? Is it enough? Does it justify all that I wanted to accomplish and to do? But I'm not sure of anything.
Wow. I'm going to get to that, more of that in a moment, because when I read this powerful little book, Open Heart, I couldn't believe that you were still questioning that. But when we were in Poland, I remember you said that the souls who perished at Auschwitz were still there, that they listen. Do you think that the ground speak, it carries its own energy here? It has the voices of the dead, do you think?
I think the souls are here. I think that they listen, they cry, they warn. Look, this is the largest cemetery in recorded history. And what do you see? Nothing.
Nothing.
But the cemetery is in our heart. You know, I have in my pocket the picture of my little sister, which I've never spoken about, not even with you. The only time I cry is not when I speak about my parents, but I speak about my little sister. Mm-hmm. There, she makes me cry.
How old was she?
7.
She was 7. She was 7 when you went to the camp. I know. I remember walking the grounds with you and us standing there, the two of us standing there and looking at the way your sister had gone. Where were you separated from your little sister and your mother?
There, I think there, yeah. And my sisters, with the 2 older sisters, my grandmother, and my little sister, I remember her because she had a red coat that she got for holiday.
A little red coat?
And that's when I saw them disappear all of a sudden. They went left, they went right. They went to the crematorium. That was the crematorium.
Why do you think it is, speaking of her, that still brings the tears? Because of a life unfulfilled, unlived? Why?
Why the children, my God, why the children? You know, that 1.5 million children were killed. Then, like that, straight from the train. Do you know what they have done to humanity? How many among them could have grown up to become scientists, physicians, poets, scholars, friends of humanity, saviors of the world? What they have done to the world